Welcome to the Grader 1 video. I'm going to go over a few of the steps that are a little bit tricky, and I'm going to start with step 3. I'm going to click on cell A2, and I'm going to type in 4/16. So it understands that that is a date, so I'm going to click on it. I'm going to format it over here as a long date, but then I get these strange hashtags or number signs. So first of all, don't panic. There's a very good chance that your cell is fine. It's just a little bit too wide to be displayed in the cell. So those number signs indicate that the cell needs to be wider. So if we go up here and we double click on the right edge, you can see that the cell got a little bit wider. In fact, the whole column got a little bit wider, and now it's wide enough to display the contents of that cell. This also applies to formulas. You type in a formula, you may get these hashtags. Start out by just making the cell wider. Chances are your formula is fine. Okay, I'm going to jump down to step 7. The column heading in cell A4 is formatted. We want to reproduce that format in some other cells. So if I go up here to this little tool that looks like a paintbrush, it's called Format Painter. And then if I click and drag over some other cells, those cells take on exactly the same attributes as the original cell. So that includes background color, font, size, style, bold, etc. So it's a nice little shortcut tool. I'm going to jump all the way down to step 19, insert a footer. So the best place to do footers is under Page Layout. And over here, the Mac has a tool called Page Setup. The PC has a tiny button here that you might not even notice at first, but either of those will take you into a window. And the window, let me move it down so you can see it. The window looks like this. I'm going to jump over to the tab called Header Footer. Now, be careful that you don't do the work of question 19 in the header. You want to make sure you're operating in the footer. So let's go to Custom Footer. Then in the left-hand window, or left-hand section, we want to put Exploring Series. And make sure you don't hit Enter or any extra spaces. That's sort of the kiss of death. You will lose marks if you do that. In the center section, we're supposed to put in the sheet name. If I hover over these different little buttons, I can see that this one is Insert Sheet Name. And if I go to this right section and hover over this one, I can see it's Insert File Name. And that's it for the footer. So OK and OK. And the last thing I want to do is step 20. Rename Sheet 1 as 4/16. So if I right-click on the name of the sheet, I can go Rename, and then it puts it sort of into edit mode, so I can go 4/16, Enter. And if I right-click again, I can do Move or Copy. Then in this window, I can say Create a Copy, and OK. Well, it might even be good to do Move to End. That'll put them in the right order. So let's go OK. So it says 4/16-2, but the instructions say I'm supposed to rename that one to 4/17. And the reason why this is extra important is if you don't rename these sheets properly or you don't have them in the right order, then when you submit it, it may not give you any marks because it can't find your work because it's looking for your work on a sheet called 4/16 or 4/17, and if you still have them named Sheet 1 and Sheet 2 or something like that, it may say, I can't find any of the work because I can't even find the sheet called 4/16. Okay, and that's it. You are an excellent student.